In Moradabad, Uttar Pradesh, it's tense and witnessing clashes as the government stopped BJP workers from entering the Kant area. Tension started there because of loudspeakers being removed by district authorities from a Jatav temple and not from the mosque. BJP workers led by MLA Sangeet Som, who happens to be the accused in the Muzaffarnagar riots, they're leading the protests and backing the Jatav community who don't want the loudspeaker to be removed from that temple. NDTV's Tanima Biswas is in Moradabad. Tanima, how's the situation there now? Because you also sent us a report of the clashes that were taking place, violent clashes that were taking place between the police and the BJP workers.
That's right, Sunitra. What we can report to you right now is that the deployment of police forces in this area since we came has in fact increased. Sources are telling us that they have called in extra forces from the surrounding districts as well in order to control the law and order situation in this area, which clearly in a way went out of hand in the afternoon, because on the rail tracks, some of the local villagers, of course, led by the BJP workers, tried to stop the trains. And there was a considerable period of time, almost 2 to 3 hours or so, that trains were not plying on this route. In fact, they had cut off the wires in this particular area, in the Kant railway station, because of which trains had come to a standstill. Now, during that time as well, the local villagers and the police actually clashed. Rubber bullets were fired in the air from the police's side and tear gas shells were also lobbed by them. In retaliation, the local villagers pelted stones, which also injured the district magistrate of the area. We are being told that he is doing fine right now, but has been sent to the hospital. So the DIG of the area as well as the SDM of this area are of course in charge of the operations going on over the past few days now. But as you were saying, that the catalyst to this entire the tension in this area seems to have been the fact that the BJP actually called for a Mahapanchayat in this area, led by none other than Sangeet Som. As you were mentioning, he is of course present in everyone's mind as the person who was arrested during the Muzaffarnagar riots for his inflammatory speeches during another Mahapanchayat, which was held just a few days before the riots started out in Muzaffarnagar area. So clearly, the authorities over here are not taking any chances, detaining Sangeet Som as well as the members of parliament from Rampur as well as Sambal areas. They were stopped from coming into this area in Kant village, where there is a dispute going on between the Jatav community and the minority community in this area because of a loudspeaker which had been taken off the religious structure of the Jatav community. So at the moment, what the authorities are telling us is that the situation is still quite tense. In fact, while we were here, we were shooting at the railway track where the clashes actually took place, and we saw how the local community and the police were actually still arguing while trying to control the situation. And in fact, the railway track seemed to be separating both sides in a way. And what we did, of course, see that the police were trying to station themselves in all the sensitive areas besides just the religious structure, which has stemmed off this entire issue. But even in the surrounding areas close to the railway station, police have been deployed heavily in order to control the situation and to make sure that this public transport is not, the service is not disrupted in any way further after the clashes that we saw this afternoon. But at the moment, what we are hearing from our police sources over here is that the situation has calmed down to some extent, but they are keeping a watch and a vigil will be maintained throughout today. Sunetra?
So that fragile, Tanima Biswa is there reporting on that fragile situation there in Moradabad. Now, Tanima was, as I said, at the site of the clashes earlier where workers were fighting with the police to remove rail tracks. District magistrate was injured in those clashes. This is her report.
We are at the Kant railway station, which is around 40 kilometers away from the Moradabad town area, standing on the train tracks over here because it has come to a standstill. All the trains in this route have been diverted because of a violent clash which took place between the police and local villagers. You can see that even the line over here has been disrupted. It has been destroyed in the clash that took place. What we are hearing is that there was a dispute in this area because of a religious structure, a loudspeaker being installed in a religious structure. There was a dispute between two different sections of the village, because of which there was a law and order situation over here. What we do know is that local BJP workers were trying to lead a group of protesters trying in order to actually work in favor of some sections of the villages. Lot of local BJP leaders of Western UP like Sangeet Som, as well as the members of parliament of Rampur and Sambal were supposed to join them. They were of course stopped on the way. But in this area, situation still tense over here. You can see that the police are just being asked to move out of this area because there's also been stone pelting from the side of the local villages, which has injured the district magistrate. And the police have tried to disperse the crowd by firing rubber bullets in the air and tear gas shells as well. That has of course worked to some extent right now. The tracks are cleared, but because of the line having been disrupted, the trains which were coming on this route have all been asked to be diverted. Extra forces have been called in to be deployed in this area. Situation still volatile as per the district authorities. With camera person Manoj Thakur reporting from Kant Village Railway Station, Tanima Biswas for NDTV.
हम लोग चूंकि जनप्रतिनिधि हैं तो अपनी बात रखने वहाँ जा रहे थे, लेकिन शासन प्रशासन को ये अच्छा नहीं लगता और इसलिए इन लोगों ने रास्ते में रोक के गिरफ्तार किया। और हम कानून को मानने वाले लोग हैं तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, लेकिन इस तरीके से समस्या का समाधान नहीं होगा जिस तरीके से लोग चाह रहे हैं।